Of excitement, a lot of smiling faces. The aircraft carrier actually came in about an hour early, so everybody was pretty thrilled about that. But still, this massive carrier takes a long time to get everybody off of the ship. Roughly 6,000 sailors. You can see them still coming down with all of their bags and their American flags. This truly was a historic mission, but right now they are just happy to be home. You could hear the excitement as the aircraft carrier inched toward the pier. Families gathered as early as 5 a.m. to welcome home the roughly 5,500 sailors. It's a typical scene whenever a deployment ends, but this mission had these families more nervous than usual.
I was scared, to be honest with you. I was just worried, just wanted to talk to my husband, make sure everybody was okay. And that ship was still coming home safely.
I was scared for all of their lives. I was scared. I knew that they were going to be a marked ship.
Her son's first deployment became historic when the crew took part in the burial of Osama bin Laden. The Vinson was in the North Arabian Sea in early May when it picked up the Navy SEAL team carrying the terror leader's remains. His body was dumped into the sea. Military families say they also feared for their own safety.
We got lots of letters from the ombudsmen, to be careful, don't talk to the media at that time. And be careful who you talk to at all. Don't try not to wear your Navy mom shirts.
The Rear Admiral says he is not allowed to discuss the burial.
It absolutely is historic, and we're proud of that. Unfortunately, it's one of those footnote histories.
But now the focus is on this reunion.
We're waiting!
Pierre Garnett is holding his baby girl for the first time.
Speechless. She's 4 months now, so I just don't know what to say.
And there were actually 76 sailors who became new dads during this deployment as we take another live look at the happy homecoming here. They also had many other accomplishments during their 7-month deployment, and we'll have more on that coming up new in our next half hour. We're reporting live in Coronado. Rachel Bianco, 10 News.
Now is just a sea of people, hundreds and hundreds of people that came out to greet their loved ones aboard the USS Carl Vinson. Just a few moments ago, live here on Fox 5, we showed you that they were manning the rails as it was steaming into port. They no longer have to man the rails. They were able to wave. Some of them actually threw up their hats. They also have, you see some people in civilian clothes. Those are civilians. Those are their friends and family, part of the Tiger Cruise. And we are just joined with a lot of people out here who are you waiting for this morning?
Oh, my brother Aaron.
So just talk to me about this particular deployment. Is it the first for your family?
No, we've had another one prior to this, but this is the longest one that he's been out to sea. We haven't seen him since November.
How do you deal with it? How do you deal with this with your family?
It's really hard. We write letters. We try to communicate as possible, but yeah, we're really excited to see him today.
And when we're looking at this ship, let's just take another hit. I'm really in awe every time I cover these, and I see these, Raul and Shali. When it steams into port and they man those rails, what goes through your mind?
I just can't wait to see him. I'm waiting for him to come off. It's really massive. I can't believe the size of it.
And when you first learned about their critical mission that they played and the role in history that they now have as assisting with the burial, the sea burial of Osama bin Laden's remains, what goes through your mind with that?
I'm very proud of them. It was a very difficult mission, and I'm very happy that they succeeded in it.
All right. Well, we appreciate the sacrifice that you, your family, and your sailor. Who is it? Who is it again?
Aaron Jones.
All right. And what does he do on board?
He is security.
All right. Well, we give him a special shout out. Thank you for talking to us this morning, Raul, Shali.
No matter how many interviews Matt Johnson is doing this morning, my favorite is still the new babies. It always is.
Yeah, the new baby.
Yep. When the sailors get off the ship and they see their new babies and meet their new babies for the very first time. A very, very special morning with the arrival of the USS Carl Vinson, with everything they did in their nearly 7-month-long deployment, of course, thwarting pirate attacks, helping people in several countries, and most importantly, of course, the burial at sea of Osama bin Laden. So needless to say, a very historic day and a historic deployment for the men and women on board the USS Carl Vinson.
Historic indeed, Raul, but as we're learning, in the 3 decades since it launched back in 1980, the ship has really earned the nickname America's favorite aircraft carrier, and it has assisted in just a a multitude of key military and humanitarian operations around the world. Again, we were mentioning this a little earlier. Aircraft carrier is named for Democratic Representative Carl Vinson of Georgia, and it was first commissioned back in 1982.
And as we mentioned, of course, in this day and age, everybody has a Facebook page, including the USS Carl Vinson, and folks on board have already basically used Facebook to say more ship colors. We've had a truly exciting 198-day deployment. It is sure good to be home. And just reading through some of the comments here, I'll just share a few of them with you here. Welcome home, sailors, with like 100 exclamation points. Thanks for everything you do. And there sure is a bunch of people and loved ones waiting for you.
We still have much more this morning on the return of the USS Carl Vinson. We'll be back right after the short break.
The party's just begun, we'll let you in. You drive us wild, we'll drive you crazy. You keep on shouting, you keep on shouting.
Yeah, hi Dan and Michelle. A happy homecoming indeed. A lot of activity here at NAS North Island. Take a look behind me. You see the sailors are coming off the USS Vinson, very excited to see their family, to see their friends, and to really be back on ground. Now, a lot of the people that you'll see are wearing plain clothes. They're not in uniform. I just learned something new today. These are family members who flew out to Hawaii and came back with the crew. It's called a Tiger Cruise, and these are the Tigers on board. Everyone is allowed to do this, family members, except for spouses. I think you can imagine why, but that makes the homecoming a little bit sweeter to see some family before you actually get back to the home port here in San Diego. In the meantime, I want to talk to a family over here that I actually got to talk to earlier this morning. This is Kelly and Ricardo. Kelly, I talked to you this morning. You were so excited to see your husband. How are you feeling right now?
Oh, there aren't words to describe it. It's great to have him home, and then I'll get to take him home. It's just way too many emotions.
And you and Ravenna, your daughter, were waiting for so many months. Ricardo, first of all, thank you for your service. What have the last few months been like for you?
Mostly just anticipation, getting home and getting through it all. It's my first real deployment on a ship, so it's a lot of new things, and doing my new job. I changed jobs, so it was really exciting to learn so much. But mostly I just wanted to come back home to the best little family ever, so that's mostly what drove me every day. So.
Obviously, the Vinson is making headlines for being part of the burial of Osama bin Laden at sea. How do you feel about being a part of this history-making mission?
Well, the rules are we don't really get to talk about it. It's kind of like the Fight Club, but being a part of anything positive is always a good thing, and I think that this will always live on in our memory as a kind of where were you when kind of moment. So I think it was a positive thing.
All right, thank you so much for staying and speaking with us. Enjoy your time together. All right, Dan and Nichelle, we'll send it back to you.